Welcome back, guys. It's your boy Elio, and in today's video we'll be checking out Cocomaru, since Cocomaru is now going to be part of, May's Rebirth, as well as all the birdies. I already have a birdies video up, so I'm not going to redo that one unless someone asks me to. Then I'll gladly redo it after I take care of a couple of other mons. But without further ado, boys, let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm going to leave the money makers for last so I can keep you guys watching this video just because. But we're going to start off here with Fire Cocomaru, who is a defender type. He's coming in with 29k HP, 1.5k attack, and then 2.8k defense. Nat 3, his stats are fine. They're nothing super duper perfect, but they're fine. And I actually like Cocomaru's design. It's actually pretty cool. But he comes in with attack down, 60% chance for one turn, and then sleep 40% chance for one turn. And he is AoE. There's nothing really here of any utility at all. Sleep could work in a more PvP / clan versus clan setting, and attack down could work in something like Titans. But these two paired together is just two different skills on opposite spectrums. So unless he gets a skill change in the future, and even if you book him up, you could run him as a debuffer in terms of PvP. But I'm not sure how high that sleep goes to make him viable in terms of damage, even with the Nat 3 League boosts in damage to obviously the Nat 3s and lower. But let's go ahead and move on to the water one. Alright, boys, next up is Water Cocomaru, who is an attacker type coming in with nearly 24k HP, 2.5k attack, and then 1.7k defense. Defense is a little bit low, attack's fine, and HP's fine as a Nat 3, nothing amazing, but stat-wise he is usable. And this one comes in with recovery down, 60% chance for one turn, and then petrification, 40% chance for one turn as well. Once again, he should have books to boost this up, but it's just an odd choice of skills. I know that they enhanced recovery down to make it a lot more potent than what it was before, but until the new golems, whatever that will bring us, I'm not really sure about recommending recovery down on any mon at this point in time, especially if you can just DPS your way through it. So in terms of the Nat 3 League, once again, would he be usable or viable by any means? If you like him, go for it, but 40% petrification, those skill books better bring it up to 60 or 70 or hell even 80 in 2 turns, I would hope, before I would even think about it. So all in all, nothing amazing. He's just another Asher guy mon, unfortunately. Next up, though, we have Wood Cocomaru, who's an attacker type coming in with 31k HP, 2.7, nearly 2.8k attack, and then nearly 1.8k defense. Better stats overall. Far better than a water one. He has more HP, more attack, and slightly more defense. Happy with his stats, dude. He's damn near 3k for an Nat 3. And HP is over 30k for an attacker types, dude. Insane. But this one comes in with stun, 70% chance for one turn, and then sap, 70% chance for 2 turns. This one out of the RGB is actually usable. I personally haven't used them myself, but I've seen people that have used them as they began the game because they didn't have a CC'er at all. They didn't have Fire Arthur or a Water Sura, etc. And this one you can get on, the first area of the game and hopefully get him to Evo 3 and just use him for his ability to stun and get you through content. I mean, you can also use him in Golems B7. Is it recommended in terms of damage? No. Would it be enough to get you through? Yes. And as a beginner, this is very, very important, for getting you through. I don't know exact details of how much your stun goes up by, but if it goes up to 100% or near 100%, that's clean. Sap did get a boost, but Sap's really only useful, in my opinion, in Golems, or if you're doing one of the, I think, Water Colossus. And it's his 5-star skill as well, so he's going to have to charge it up to do it. Really just a utility mon. If you don't have any other CC'ers, which is crowd control mons that stun or shock, etc., then he would be a solid pick. In terms of the Nat 3 League, I mean, you would bring him in there for the stun, but there's already so many other mons that can do his job and possibly be a lot tankier with the Nat 3 buffs. So I mean, if you're just getting into it and this is all that you have, it's perfectly fine, but I could see him getting dropped at some point in time just because stun and sap don't go together. It's enough to work with, but it's nothing to be optimal, in my opinion. Next up though, boys, we have Light Cocomaru, who's a tank type coming in with 37k HP, 2.2k attack, and then 1.7k defense. Boys, I wish they would swap that attack and defense because that defense is absolutely abysmal as a Nat 4. Attack doesn't really matter, but that defense is abysmal. HP is okay. Other than that, it is what it is, boys. But this one is a double HP aggressor, which is why he has a lot of HP. I still wish his defense was higher. In terms of uses, well, he's an HP aggressor. He's not affected by the Nat 3 League boost. So you're pretty much better off running a dark HP aggressor if you choose to use an HP aggressor. Because even though he has added crit rate, the dark ones, even if you're not going for maximum crit on these, will still outdamage him, I believe. Just because if they crit, they're going to outdamage his crit with the added, what, 40% crit damage. Even if he's a little bit easier to get the max crit rate. If you want to run him with crit rate HP, go for it. I just personally run my aggressors with triple HP or triple defense with high resist and high crit rate subs. It doesn't really matter in the end. In terms of uses, if this is all that you have as like a clan versus clan defense mon or even a PvP defense mon, it is what it is. He's nothing amazing. I have one. He's in the box. In the future, he's going to just stay in the box because honestly, there's nothing amazing here. Especially with Light Jean, she's the same thing, the same exact thing, but I believe of higher stats in the Super Evolution. There's really no contest here, boys. There's really no contest. He's just here. He exists. Hopefully for the Astro Guide. If you want to use him, feel free to use him. I'm just saying. I personally don't have any thoughts about using him. And alright, boys, last but not least, we have Darko Camaro, who's a balance type coming in with 33k HP, 2.8k attack, and then nearly 2.4-ish k defense. Overall balance type, Nat 4. Stats could be a little bit better, but his attack is slightly higher than his defense, which is very odd for a balance type, but hey, at least he's not like super duper frail. He's little frail, little bit, but his HP is over 30k, defense is over 2k. It is what it is, boys. And he comes in with attack down, 70% chance for 2 turns, and then blind, 70% chance for 2 turns. We had this discussion a little bit earlier in my guild's Discord about him, and he seems like he would be a solid Titans mon for all of you out there interested in Titans. I would recommend him as a Titans mon if you have a very, very small pool of Titans mons, because the problem is that his attack down is great and his blind is great. It's just that you have so many mons already on your teams that should be doing attack down and defense down that there's not really much room to have a mon with blind. Like I've said before in a lot of my videos, normally the only time I have mons with blind in their kit is Sea Strikers that naturally come with it. But giving up an entire slot to have a monster that can do blind and debuff, I'll put it to you like this. Light Neza was nearly in the same boat, but they buffed her and she now has weakened and blind. If he had the same treatment where he had weakened and blind, I feel like he would be a lot more reasonable in having in a composition later on in Titans. But I feel like later on in Titans he's just not used because you have other mons that do the same job and they're not splitting up attack down and blind. That's my only issue with him here. So in terms of pulling him and using him, of course, if you're a smaller Titans team and you're just trying to get your, your feet wet in Titans, then I would say go for it, build him up and see how he does. For late game Titans, I could be wrong here, but I don't figure that he would have any use. I personally don't use him. Obviously, I have him, but I don't. I just never use them, and I could be wrong here. And if I'm wrong, feel free to leave a comment below because it's going to help other people out, boys. But yeah, that's a Cocomaru review, boys. I would say at least gather both light and dark because we have an entire month to do it and get them to Evo 3 to fill the Astro Guide. Maybe throw them into storage and see if they get any future changes or stat buffs to them. But out of all the Cocomarus, if you want to play with a light aggressor because you might not have one, feel free to Evo 3 the light one and build him up if you want for fun. But in terms of uses, I would say the wood one would be the most useful for newbies, and then the dark one if you have like a very small baby Titans team where you don't have a lot of debuffers and mons of that nature. But that's pretty much it, boys. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, boys. It really helps. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. So, peace out.